There are some things in Riders Republic that can make your experience way better, but the game doesn't tell you. So in today's video, I'll show you some tips I wish I knew when I started playing the game almost 3 years ago. When you start playing, you might see a lot of players around you wherever you go, and if you open up the map, you'll see thousands of markers everywhere. Well, these are not real players. Technically they are, but they are not playing the game right now, so they are like ghosts of movements from the past. The real players that are playing right now are the yellow markers and not the white ones, which are not that many people, but there are still a lot of them if you go to important places like the Riders Ridge. So if you don't wanna see these ghost players, you can go to your settings and turn off social presence. That way you'll only see the real players, which I think is much less stressful. One of the main activities you'll be doing in Riders Republic are mass races. These are the 60-player races that happen every 30 minutes. There are 11 different mass race tracks, and the lineup changes once a week on Wednesdays. There are two types of mass races, special and regular. In the special ones, they give you a fixed equipment and everyone uses the same, but in the regular ones, you have to use your own equipment. So if you're new to the game, it will be harder for you to win. So keep in mind that the regular and special mass races alternate, and if you don't have very good gear, it's better to play the special ones at the beginning. So how do you get the best gear? Well, you start getting elite gear at level 40 of every career. From there, every time you level up, you have a chance of getting an elite equipment. Now there are some events that take less time to complete, but give you the same XP as every other event. So these are the best events to grind if you want to get elite gear fast. So now I'll show you the fastest events in every sport, so you can grind elites if you want. Another great way of getting good gear and clothes are sponsors. There are a few different sponsors for every sport, and they give you all kinds of clothes from that brand, and usually at the end of the rewards they give you some good equipment. You can have 3 active sponsors at a time, and you can complete 3 contracts from each sponsor every day. So this is a thing that you can do whenever you start playing. When you enter the game, you can complete the 3 contracts from the 3 sponsors, so you can progress faster. There are also some secret gear you can collect around the map, called funkies. Right now there are 13 of them, and if you just started playing the game, they can help you a lot because they usually have some pretty good stats and they will be better than the gear you have at the moment if you just started playing the game. So if you want to get them all, I'll show you the exact location of all of them. This one might seem a bit dumb, but the first day I started playing, I didn't know that everything you see at the Reach, the shop, the weekly challenges, the season progression and all of that, can be accessed through the main menu as well. So you don't have to be running around the Reach to access these things. Another tip I can give you is turning your deadzone to 0.1 on both sticks. This basically makes the character way more responsive, because it takes less time to register that you're turning your joystick. So if I were you, I would turn it down. You have probably seen some videos talking about manual landing versus auto landing. I've said in the past that if you're a new player, you should stick to auto landing or assisted landing for a few days before changing to manual. But I think you should make the change sooner than that. Manual landing feels way better than the other ones when you get the hang of it. It can be a bit intimidating at first, but it's easier than it seems. Also, if you land your tricks correctly, it gives you more points, so that way you can complete your events with a high score. Also, a good thing to know is that when you're playing these events, you're not actually competing against live players. As I said earlier, these are actually ghosts of other players that have completed these events before. The only races with real live players are the mass races. When you're completing the red stunts around the map, it's a good idea to unequip your bike and just walk in some parts. This way it will be easier for you to complete these stunts. For example, in this stunt you can unequip your board at the last second so you can survive the fall. Alright, so the last tip I have for you is just to enjoy the game. Some people ask me what's the fastest way of getting stars or leveling up, and always the best way is by playing the game. You don't really have to stress about going fast, you can just enjoy the game, in my opinion. Alright, so that was all. I hope this video was helpful if you just got the game. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!